Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 7, Driftmark. So in this episode, we pick up right after we left off on the last one. We are at a funeral. I'll be vague about that, just know that we're at a funeral in Driftmark. And yeah, things when you get all these people together, things are not gonna go very well. So let me talk a little bit about the creative team behind this episode. This episode was directed by Miguel Sapochnik, written by Kevin Lau, Ryan J. Kondo, and of course, everything is based on the works of George R. R. Martin. This episode stars Paddy Considine as King Viserys Targaryen, Matt Smith as Prince Daemon Targaryen, Emma Darcy as Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, Olivia Cook as Queen Alicent Hightower, Reese Infants comes back as Sir Otto Hightower, and I do have two other characters that I'll talk a little bit more about in depth because they really deliver some really awesome performances in this episode. So yeah, let me tell you. Let me start off with my one negative thing about this episode. I understand that in this world there is no like artificial lighting, but as soon as the sun goes down, this show is really dark. And I don't know. I think that's been a complaint that this show has had in the past. But man, there are no lanterns, nothing, like no light sources anywhere around Driftmark. And they even picked an overcast night, whereas the moon would not like shine through. There were some sequences that were very hard to watch. Maybe that was intentional. I found it a little bit annoying. But yeah, that's the big negative that I'll give this episode. Because other than that, this one was a banger. And if you listen to the creators behind the episode right after once the episode is over, this was one of the first scenes that we see is where everyone's gathered all together, right after the funeral. And let me tell you, whoever plans these sequences out, the blocking of everyone moving around the camera, the way the camera is going to be cutting in and out, the editing, just putting all those scenes together, it was a thing to see. It was kind of like a dance, and it was like you would get a small piece of dialogue or something happen, and a look would come out of nowhere from a different character, and all that tension just keeps building up. So I also wonder if, because this was one of the earlier scenes that they shot and the actors hadn't had time to kind of like gel together, the awkwardness of working together for the first time or for one of the first times really comes through as this like awkwardness, being because it is awkward for the characters in the show, right? They don't like each other. A lot of people don't like each other in the show, and it just comes through. But they have to be polite. They have to still show up because they can't just let go of their position. They have to be around where things are happening. So this was really interesting. It was really interesting getting all the houses together. Really, all the big players are together here in this show. Um, I would say this would even be like it's almost like a bottle episode, if you can call what Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon do bottle episodes, but it's really that. Um, we really have this really cool sequence with Leo Ashtel, who plays Prince Aemon Targaryen, the younger of Viserys and Alicent's kids. Uh, Dude delivered a great performance, especially because he had to act uh, pretty much by himself all this time. There was also a big confrontation. For those of you that are familiar with the book, you know where I'm going with this. And if you saw the end of the next preview for the next episode, you'll know that we have another time jump. So yeah, kudos to Leo. Really great performance. And if we don't see this character again, he has really set the bar high for his counterpart moving forward. Also, Matthew Needham as Larry Strong. This man just he delivers all his dialogue in such a manner that it makes you uneasy. And he's just a character. Even the people that are supposed to be on his side. Um, and I think one of the other things that I noticed this episode, when he stops talking and kind of looks away, he still has this look on his face, the wheels are still turning. He's still plotting. Like even if you just had a conversation with this individual, like he's still plotting against you. It is unbelievable. Um, which Olivia Cook plays very well off of that, right? Their relationship in the show is very weird, uh, very messed up. And but you know you got to have allies. Clear lines have been drawn really in this episode. Um, so yeah, really really good. I also really like the just the whole. I love Driftmark. I think it's a really interesting place to be because it is it is a large place, right? The House of Valerian, they are still powerful. They are still big in the kingdom. They're one of the larger houses, right? So, but because everything is by the sea, things are kind of worn down, and like I said, it's very dark. The fact that most of the episode was in, a lot of the episode was in the darkness, so close to the coastline too. It really creates for a very different atmosphere from when we are in King's Landing. So, yeah, this episode was had, like I said, a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving pieces. I don't want to go into any specific details, but I know that next episode, once again, I think just the pacing's a little quick. I think I didn't mind the first few time jumps, but man, this next one, I feel like it's gonna be another 5-10 years, which will be very interesting. I don't know exactly what the book covers. Maybe it covers like maybe we'll see the characters that we started with. We'll pass their lives and then we'll keep going forward. I don't know if this is supposed to take us almost all the way back to all the way to pretty much the beginning of Game of Thrones. So I don't know I don't know how long the show's planning for. But man, they really, really sped up. But as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.